Now is the time for Natural Arches Trail. I don't like the idea that the main arch collapsed, but I'm hoping that there will be enough natural arches to make this worth it. It's about a 2.5 mile trail, and evidently the there are no markings, so we'll have to just figure out where the definitive trail end is. What I'm seeing is that there is no definitive trail end, so let's just take a look and see what we find out here. Looks like we head up the wash that the other direction is Charlie's Spring Trail. We passed through that little tunnel up ahead, and instead now what we're going to do is we're going to head up this wash, and it's a 2.5 mile trail each way, and so we'll just gauge where we should be in about 2.5 miles, about what time it would be, since there's no definitive end to this trail. And we'll look around at arches. Here we go. After passing through a rather cluttered maintenance area, the trail, or at least a pathway, becomes apparent. At least so many footsteps, how can they be wrong? So we will we'll go ahead, and this is the direction we're going. Actually, we're going to follow these footsteps, but boy, this sand is deep. This is the deepest sand I have experienced yet in Valley of Fire State Park. So we're going to be navigating sand and probably emptying our shoes out a few times, but we're heading on up what looks like a main thoroughfare for people traveling, and hopefully the Natural Arches Trail. Okay, let's find out. And here's a 360-degree view of where we are. Beautiful red rocks all around us. Right in the center there is the landmark that I use to navigate back from Charlie's Spring Trail. And my landmark for this trail is going to be this mound right here. Okay, so that's our 360-degree view, and here we go, slogging through deep sand. Fortunately, it's only 2.5 miles. I want you to picture the deepest sand you've ever walked in, and then double it. And you'll have what we're dealing with here. Definitely no running on this trail, but we're out here. This is the value of it, is just to be in a place like this. Imagine January, I'm wearing shorts and a tank top. Where else in the country can you do this at the end of January? So, soaking in the sun, enjoying myself, but slogging through deep sand. The sand remains very deep, but the walls are rising up around us. Very majestic, beautiful red rock. So we're definitely in the canyon and moving through the canyon. We just passed this area. And now we're headed onward. Here we go. Encountering some of the weird and wonderful shapes in these rocks, characteristic of Valley of Fire Park. As we continue through this canyon, Natural Arches Trail. This rock almost looks like it's bowing over and welcoming us onward. You can see the work of water in shaping this canyon. Another 360. Here's the direction we're headed. Now let's circle around and see what we can see. And you see the walls are very high. It's got to be at least 300 feet. Here's where we just came through. And again, where we're headed. And my shoe is filling up with so much sand, there's no longer any room for my foot. I just squeezed through this area. Narrow and windy. Talk about being formed by successive layers. That's how the beehives were formed. But here you can really see how the layers have been stacked one upon the other. Time for another 360. Here's where we're headed. And looking around all the weird and wonderful rocks, and there are little rodents running around on those rocks now. Here's where we came from. Here's a rock wall with quite a design on it. Back to where we're headed. Hallelujah! There's our first natural arch. Let's do a quick 360. We just saw 3 bighorn sheep crossing the canyon. Got some pictures. the little one was actually a baby that was following its parents. I guess you'd call it a lamb. So you can see the amazing rock formations here. Here's where we came from. And you see the little footprints. As I mentioned, there are a number of rodents. This one, though, yeah, I'm not sure that's a rodent. That may be the little bighorn sheep, the little lamb that we saw just a moment ago. You'll see it in the pictures. Didn't have time to get a video rolling. Okay, continuing on. Let's take another 360. There's a pretty interesting rock formation. 3 pillars there in front of us. Here's the trail going forward. And then our 360. And you can see just the really rugged, intricate designs. Amazing. Yeah, I like that little one up there. It looks like an arch that had seen its last archness. There's one that's still in existence as an arch. Rocks making all kinds of weird and wonderful formations here. Here's deja vu. Almost like when I was in Fire Canyon and looking at Silica Dome. Now, I don't know if this could be Silica Dome and I could be in Fire Canyon, but I tell you, it sure looks familiar. Could be a very similar canyon. Who knows? Here's the 360. If this were Fire Canyon, I'd be looking up right now at the Mouse Tank Trail. But, oh boy, I don't know. We'll figure that out someday. And for another 360, we've got some beautiful views in all directions here. Look at the formations on these hills. Another balancing act up there. Oh, and there's another arch. Let's see if we can get a good shot of it. There you go. Been around. How beautiful. Yes, the last time I had this much sand in my shoes was Fire Canyon when I was heading toward Silica Dome. So I don't know. It sure looks suspiciously like Silica Dome. Same angle, same coloring. Just doesn't seem we could have circled around that far, but who knows? Maybe we took a shortcut. 360, here's where we're headed. Looking all around. Wow, some truly amazing formations in these rocks. You can see why they call this Natural Arches Trail. Look at this. Here's where we just came from. Amazing skyline here. And there's the rock that looks mysteriously, suspiciously like Silica Dome. If that were Silica Dome and we were in Fire Canyon, I'd be looking up at Rainbow Vista right now. But not sure. Let's continue on and just see what appears. Okay, I've reached a turnaround point. Heading back. I could swear I'm in Fire Canyon. And I'm navigating very close to the area I was in the other day when I came down from the Rainbow Vista trail and overlook. Not the exact spot, but very close. Okay, heading back. I'm emerging from Natural Arches Trail, and in retrospect, I would say this is indeed the eastern exit of Fire Canyon. If you continue up the Natural Arches Trail, you'll eventually reach Silica Dome. That was indeed Silica Dome. And if you take a hard left before Silica Dome, you'll come out at either the Rainbow Vista Trail or the Mouse's Tank Trail. So that's where we are. That's how things connect around here. And the only other time that I've had so much sand in my shoes was when I did the Fire Canyon hike. But now I have gone pretty much the entire length of Fire Canyon in Red Rock Park, except, yeah, I didn't go all the way to the western end of the canyon. As it was opening up, I took a left and headed out on Silica Dome the other day. But for the most part, yes, I've done almost the entire length of Fire Canyon in Red Rock Park, in Valley of Fire Park. There's so many red rocks around me that it's just natural to say Red Rock Park. But no, Valley of Fire Park. Okay, heading out where I came in.